Okay, just to review, I say class, you say?
Yes.
Class?
Yes.
Good. Okay. We are going to be learning about a gentleman named J.P. Guilford, excuse me. He was born in 1897 and died in 1987, which I think is very strange because if you look at the numbers, it's the exact same numbers, 1897, 1987. Anyway, I just thought that was very weird when I saw that, so I had to point it out. He actually started out as a elementary school teacher and then worked his way up into the college level. He was a psychologist. He taught in the Midwest, different colleges around. Eventually he got hired on to work at an army base at a research facility where they were trying to develop different ways of assessing intelligence. And at the time, the standard tests, such as IQ tests, things like that, were pretty common, pretty well known. But he kind of thought that there was more work that needed to be done on the approaches on how learning how people, or understanding how people learn, and kind of more of the creative side to people's abilities. Abilities was a big word for him. He really thought that there were different assessments, which is why I wrote all this on the board. We're going to get back to it. His definition of intelligence, and remember this because you're going to tell your partner in 1 second. Definition of intelligence was a systematic collection of abilities for the processing of information of different kinds in different ways. So I'll say it one more time. A systematic collection of abilities for the processing of information of different kinds in different ways. Tell your partner what you just heard.
Systematic
Okay, class?
Yes.
What do you think that means? Just a rough ballpark. What do you think that he's talking about with that statement? Does anybody have any ideas?
Can you say it one more time?
Okay. It's a systematic collection of abilities for the processing of information of different kinds in different ways. I know it was pretty confusing for me too at first. So what I got from that initially, do you have an idea?
It's gifted and talented.
Okay.
It's gifted and talented.
Gifted and talented, but understanding it through different processes, not just taking a test and saying, okay, they scored this, this means this. So different outlets of presenting the abilities that they might carry, that the person might carry. So what else made him different? We're going to learn 3 different things. So everybody put up your fingers right there. Okay, number 1. He believed that intelligence was not monolithic. This is the first one, not monolithic. Does anybody know a synonym for monolithic? Does anybody know what that means? Rigid? Not rigid, basically, not uniformed. The second one is independent of, everybody has independent mental thinking abilities. Everybody's different, everybody's unique. Kind of like your fingerprints, no two are the same. And then the third one is, he believed that I guess it's sort of the same, independent mental abilities, and then the difference is that everybody in the way that they think. So capabilities are all different, and then the way that people think are all different as well. So it's not necessarily right or wrong, but that is just different. So those are the 3. Let's go over them again. Not rigid, not the same in abilities, and not the same in the way that we believe that we see the world, or the way that we think. Okay, tell your partner. Okay, class?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. We're going to move on from that. He also thought that society was really trying to encompass everybody's intellect to be very just easily compartmentalized. He thought that everybody was in the field at least, was trying to distinguish people as either smart or not smart. Give them a number or give them a label and just categorize them as simply as possible. He really didn't think that was a great way of looking at it. So when he went to go work for the campus or the military, he came up with something called the SI model, which is what we're seeing here. So I wrote this down because it's pretty complex. He thought that there were different ways of testing people and utilizing their different visual, auditory, symbolic, behavioral, different things to look at the information given. So basically what it did was it came up with all different types of classifications or abilities that people might have. He came up with 150, and actually 100 of them were empirically verified. Does anybody know what empirically verified means? There is synonym for that? Empirically verified? I had to look it up. Okay, it means proven evidence. Yeah. There was actual data for it. It doesn't say what the data was, but it supposedly verified that that there's at least 100 different abilities that people can have. So the other great thing about this was that he left it open. He said, these are my ideas. This is how I think that people can learn, and the systems that we could use to figure out how they learn and what they know. But it can be left to people's interpretations. People can add on to the list. They don't have to just use my ideas. So I thought that was pretty interesting also. And the model shows that humans are complex. We're not just an IQ number or data, I guess. We have different strong suits. We're all very individualized. So talk to your partner for 1 second. Tell your neighbor what you think about his ideas. If you think it's oversimplified, undersimplified, if you like it or not.
I don't know.
Okay, class.
Yes.
Class?
Yes.
Okay. Additional contributions that he made to experimental psychology. He was a big proponent of that. He thought that everybody in the field should keep working on their learning of the issues. He believed in visual perception, learning, memory, and aesthetics as being important parts of intelligence. He was also involved with statistical psychology, with test theory, evaluation, and factor analysis and scaling, and also with personal theory and with measurement. So that is it.